Liquid and digits to me, really want to know the way I view them itself. Both are a form I can never really actually possess complete knowledge of. It's always something that I'm trying to figure out, which in the case both dance forms I can't figure out fully, which is why I love both, more than anything. Because I'm constantly trying to figure out a way of either bending or changing or restructuring my flow or whatnot, that it seems like there's an endless possibility of things I can do. I mean, that's the main reason why I love it, because it seems like it's never ending. It's always something I can improve on and keep doing forever. I think the first time I ever saw Liquid perform, it was probably performed really poorly or badly, but it actually intrigued me. I think it was near maybe 2000, 2001, while I was on spring break at some club. I can't remember what it was called, but I actually saw some guy doing what I would call Liquid at this point, which intrigued me. And then someone mentioned something about being able to find clips on file sharing programs, so that's the first thing I did, was obviously look up Liquid. And the first actual clip I came upon, of course, was Eric's arcade clip, which in that point I was hooked from the very beginning of that clip. Everything about it was just incredible. There's really not words to describe the first thing I felt when I saw the dance form, but from then on, I've constantly been hearing concepts and things like that as far as what Liquid is or what Liquid's about. And I've tried to expand upon what I've heard and what I've seen at the same time, which has basically made me the person and dancer that I am at this point now. I think the first dancers I've ever been influenced by, of course, if I had to name them, being in Springfield, Missouri, there's only a few of them. I would have to say Ryan, which a lot of people don't know, my friend Myron, and my friend Robbie. And then I was actually introduced to Matt, which goes by Hadouken or Hadoken. The first time I was around that kid, I saw him do a tug set that lasted like 25 minutes, never getting any move. And then the first time I saw digits was from him, and it was the most intricate, crazy, most mind-blowing art form I've ever seen in my entire life. So if I had to actually give it to anybody, it would be him. It would be his dedication, him not taking his ADD medication, which led to a lot of tight finger boxes and finger waves and all that type of stuff. So Matt, thank you for not taking your actual medication. What the hell are you doing, first off? How do you do that? Where can I learn? How much free time do you have on your hands? Because a lot of it is based on free time. If you think about it, if you ask anyone who actually practices Liquid or digits, it's a constant, everyday thing. You don't, I don't have a set practice time, which I should, but a lot of my stuff is done during normal everyday activities. I could be cooking something and doing digits at the same time, or waiting on my laundry to be finished and waving in certain areas. Minute things like that. I mean, basically it's all encompassing. So when you're actually in an atmosphere and you're doing it and performing it, and somebody asks you a lot of those questions, it's hard to answer because you're in a club, first of all, it's too loud. Second of all, you can't have a full-on conversation with somebody about something like that in that atmosphere. Well, of course, being a practitioner, I wouldn't want to see the form dead at all whatsoever. I would like it to get away from stereotypes. For instance, you can ask anyone who practices Liquid or goes out and performs Liquid. First thing you get is, you're a big raver, or you're doing drugs, or you're high on something. It's not like that. And of course, when you put it the extreme set, I wouldn't want it on MTV. Because if you know anything about any sort of thing that's publicized or put in the media or mainstream, it takes all the heart out of it. It takes the fun out of it, and it all makes it about money. And in that case, to me, it almost ruins what it began as and what it should materialize as. Well, to go back to the question when you asked me where I would like to see it, I didn't really answer that. I mentioned what I would like to see it turn into. If I had my choice of it, for instance, being in Detroit completely changed everything I thought about it. Like, being around everyone made me more creative, and for instance. So what I would like to see is a more expanded community where more people can get together on a more frequent basis and expand off each other and actually create ideas with each other based on, their styles, what they do, and kind of build on it from that. I would like to see more, compilation, more communication. Pretty much it.
Okay. Do you see the cultures in 10 years?
I would personally say just spreading the word about what is or what liquid could be. I can't tell you how many times I've gone out somewhere and see someone doing liquid and doing it in a way that it shouldn't be done. I mean, ask any guy who actually does liquid, they'll tell you, you can see people doing something they call liquid. It's not liquid. It may look like it, but it could be so much more, and a lot of people don't realize that. So I would like to see it actually just pushed out there, and properly influenced to be more than what your average raver considers liquid. Well, realistically, based on the work that you guys have been doing, I think steps have been made to kind of ensure that. I more likely still see some stereotypes out there. I mean, you really can't ever get away from those true stereotypes. I do see better practitioners from what you guys have been doing as far as with the site, everything like that. But like I said, I mean, a lot of it, you're still going to see people who don't know what they're doing. But all you can really do is try and help those people. And if you look at it in a larger, more broad sense, I mean, what you guys are laying out is going to be the future of what we love and what we actually enjoy doing. So, personally, I would love to see it flourish, and I would love to see it become everything it can be without any sort of, nonsense.